for about 40-ish minutes at this point. I hope you are ready and excited to get a little bit of stretching done. Let's see, what do I gotta say? We do this every single day to practice consistency. We do this every day so that you and I can keep coming back and we can build a little bit of community. Hopefully, if you engage in the chat, get to know each other, that would be lovely. And together, we can make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. All right? What we're gonna do is about 45 minutes of live side split stretching. It's all follow along. I'm gonna explain pretty much everything that you need to know as we do it, so you don't need to come in with any experience. And we're gonna get started right now. My name is Ken, and we're getting into hip CARs. CAR stands for Controlled Articulated Rotations, and basically we are trying to take our leg muscle and bring it through the full range of motion in that hip, in that leg, and it looks a little bit like this. We're gonna start with the high knee. We're gonna open up that leg directly to the side. This is as far left as I can open, but keep that knee high. Rotate the leg so that the ankle and the knee are as high as possible at the same time. Bring the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that leg back, and that is 1 rep. Hey! You've renamed yourself Neko Panda 1214, I think. Welcome back, Liverpool. Let's see. Trouble with Roxy on TikTok says, I don't see a poll yet. Maybe check your screen next time you check your phone. You talking to me? I don't see a way to put the poll together. There is a messenger button. There is a way to, oh, there's settings that I can do a poll around, but it looks like, no, I have no idea how that works. Can I undo that now? Quick poll in progress. End.
Oh, there's one part.
Oh. It was just a vote red or vote blue poll.
Oh. It's okay, just
okay. Alright. We're getting into side split stretching. Let's do it. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little community, and hopefully together we can make it fun enough that you keep coming back, doing a bunch of it, and make a whole bunch of progress together. We had a long moment of technical stuff. We don't need to talk about that. Let's get into our warm-up exercises, all right? The first thing I'm going to do is called hip CARs. CARs is Controlled Articulated Rotations. Liverpool, thank you for listening to this the second time. And what we're doing in hip CARs is we're trying to bring our leg through its full range of motion at that hip joint, okay? So it looks a little bit like this. We're going to bring that knee directly in front, lift it as high as we can. We're going to open it directly to the side. So this is my left side, and my hip is going, or my leg is pointing directly to the left, trying to keep the knee high. We're going to rotate that leg so that the knee and the ankle are both as high as possible, all right? And then from there, we're going to bring that leg down and back. You want to try to keep your upper body kind of straight, but if you start leaning forward a little bit because you're working and bring that leg really far back, that's okay. We're contracting the hamstring, we're contracting the glutes, we're trying to pull this leg back and feel that stretch in the hip flexor in the front. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of those on the left side, 10 of those on the right side. Let's go. High knee. Open, ankle, down and back. That's 1. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 I think that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. We'll just check to see if there are comments I need to address. It looks like everything is good. Chelsea just followed. Welcome, Chelsea. If you guys are coming back from a previous live, yesterday my foot was really swollen because I don't know what's going on with my right foot. I think I smashed it into something by accident. But it's less swollen. I can actually balance on this leg now, but we're not balancing on this leg. We're moving on to the other leg. We're still doing hip CARs, going in the front, and it looks like this. Whew. But now that I have to balance on my left leg, I'm suddenly flopping around. All right, We're gonna start with high knee, directly in front. I know I'm at an angle, but this leg is directly in front of me. We're gonna open up that hip as much as we can, point it directly to your right or left, depending on which leg you're doing. We're gonna rotate the leg so that the ankle is as high as possible and the ankle and the knee are as close to a horizontal line as possible. Whew. If that gets tiring, you can always come down and take a break. But then in the next position, we're bringing the leg down and back. We're flexing the hamstring, we're flexing the glutes. We're pulling the leg directly behind us. From the front, it looks like this. All right, that's the hip cars. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 I think that's 4 or 5. This is definitely 5. And 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you're just joining in, we're doing 40-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day, but we're doing it right now. And we're doing the very, very beginning of warm-up. And yeah, let me see if there's anything I need to respond to in the chat. Nope, everything looks good. Okay, we're gonna go in reverse. All right, what we just did was the forward. It's the same movements, but we're going to go in the reverse order. So we're going to start by bringing the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, lift the leg directly up to the side so that the knee and the ankle are both as high as possible, like you're kicking somebody. And then rotate that hip so that your knee is pointed as high up as you can. Then bring that leg forward and keep the knee high. All right, we're doing 9 more of those. Back, side, ankle, knee. 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 Back, ooh, I'm losing balance. Side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. I think that's 7, 8, 9, and ooh, last one. Back, side, ankle, knee. 10. Let's go real fast. Finish this up. Final 10. If you need to hold on to something for balance, I recommend you go take it. It's helpful to have something on the left side when you're doing the right leg. It's helpful to have something on the right side when you're doing the left leg. Let's do the last leg. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle, knee. And it's 10 for 10. We have wrapped up all of our hip cars. Forward, left, right, backwards, left, right. 40 reps. I hope your hips are a little bit warmed up. Got some blood flowing. Let's keep going and get into warm-up exercise number 2. Warm-up exercise number 2 is called the elephant walk. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to try and unfold at the hips and get into an L-ish shape. If you're a little less flexible, that's okay. We're not going into this aggressively. We're not going into this hard. We're just trying to relax into this kind of shape and get those hamstrings warmed up and ready for some more movement. Okay? So from here, I want you to take a nice big deep breath in and then release slowly. See if you can relax a little bit. A lot of people, the only time they ever bend over like this, they're trying to do a hamstring stretch or something similar, and especially if you're less flexible, if the only sort of reaction you have to getting into this position is my hamstrings are really tight, I'm not good at this, it's going to be really hard for you to relax into a deeper stretch because you have all of that preconceived stuff going on in your head about your stretching. And I want you to take this moment to let all that go. We're just chilling here, we're relaxing, and hopefully we can make a little bit of progress, okay? From here, once you've taken a couple of breaths, your hamstrings are uncomfortable, but they're loosening up. I want you to start bending your knees one at a time. And I want you to shift your weight as you bend the knees, okay? What we are doing is, well, our knees are moving, but we're also getting a little bit of extra movement at the hips, But what I want you to start slowly emphasizing more and more by bringing your belly button down is the stretch in your hamstring as we transition from side to side. I want you to keep your belly button low to the ground and to have your knees bend from one side, go to the other side, and once you've done a couple of those, you'll find that maybe you're going a little bit deeper in this forward bend. It's very likely because we just warmed up the hamstring and the weather is getting colder in a lot of the US, so it's totally normal for you to need a bunch more warm up to move well to begin with. So hopefully we've done a little bit of that with the hip cars, and now this elephant walk, we can make the elephant walk a little bit more advanced. You got options. All right, so first off, in the elephant walk, you don't have to keep your feet in the same place. If you want, you can literally walk. Whether that's straighten the leg in front, doing a mini hamstring stretch here, bending, putting this other leg in front, doing some little mini hamstring stretches like this. Or if you want, you can take that a step forward and maintain the exact same kind of stretch that you were doing. This right leg is bent, and you are just enjoying the stretch as you try to bring your belly button down. Doesn't matter what position your leg is in. All right, those are options. I promise if it didn't look so ridiculous and was so funky, it'd be much easier for you to get hamstring flexibility and hamstring strength if you just walked around your house, ran errands going, okay, I need to go to another room. I'm gonna just walk around like this and get 5 seconds, 10 seconds of hamstring stretching, hamstring warm up throughout the day in little tiny pieces. It's hamstring stretches, right? But I know it looks cool. There's no I can say that aloud, but I'm not doing it. I'm just saying that it's a possibility and would make certain things a lot faster if you want to win more hamstring mobility. The more you use it, the more likely your body is going to be like, oh, okay, this is cool. I can do more of this. Okay, what do we just do? We did the elephant walk. Is mostly done. Ooh, it seems like somebody has told me that the audio is not working on one of the devices. I'm going to check real quick. And that is indeed true. It seems like the YouTube connection has absolutely no sound. That again, reconnect, and hopefully that is better. Okay. All right. We have finished up some elephant walks. Usually we do some other stuff to add to it, but I think we're ready to move on because we spent some time here. Let's get into the third warm-up exercise. It is called the Cossack switch, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs about 3 times our hips width, and then we are going to try to point our toes out 30 to 45-ish degrees. So instead of forward, pointing them out, and we're going to try to drop down to one side. Try to keep your knees going the same direction as your toes, okay? What I mean by that is if your toes are pointing this way, I'm exaggerating a little bit to show you, we want your knees to travel in the same line. So the knees are over the toes. If you have tight hips, you might be twisting and rotating like this, and your knee is doing this, right? We don't want that so much. We also don't want the opposite. We don't want your hip to open up out that way so that your foot is all curled up, rounded, and your knee is all the way out there. There's a time and a place to train those things, especially if you're an athlete and you're trying to move really fast from side to side. There's a time and place for that. That's just not what we're doing right now because we're going to be hanging out in this position for a long time. And if your knee ligaments get too loose, it's not that beneficial for you. Okay, so come on down, hang out, keep your knees over your toes. Try to feel that stretch in the front of the ankle, feel the Achilles stretch here in the back of the leg, feel the pressure building in that hip, and just chill for a second. I imagine for most people, this is your first time all day doing anything in this type of crazy position. And so we can take it nice and easy. All right. While we chill and get used to this position, let's talk about what this leg is doing. We want to get comfortable enough in this position where we can rotate this leg so that the heel is down and the toes are up. and the knee is up. This is called leg external rotation because we're rotating it towards the outside of the body. We need this for the side splits towards the end. So I'm pointing out right now. All right, we've hung out here on this side for a little bit. Let's try to get over to the other side. There's a bunch of ways, and I recommend putting your hands down, supporting yourself, and slowly bring your butt across the body so you can get over to this side. Same thing, we're gonna hang out here, feel that pressure in the front of the ankle, feel that stretch in the Achilles and the calf, feel that pressure in the hip, and try to get comfortable enough where you can rotate that leg where the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. You might have to try to sit back a little bit. You might have to stick your arms out to counterbalance your weight. And if these are too hard, you can always take a small break and come up. You can come into a position that's a little bit less intense. You don't have to be all the way in here with your knees and feeling the stretch. You can come back a little bit, straighten it out, and your quads are going to fire and it's going to be really tough, but it's the price you got to pay. You got to balance. All right. Once you have gotten comfortable in this position, we're going to start moving from side to side. Okay. And what we're going to do is a combination of things. We already talked about putting your hands down to bring your butt from side to side. Let's work on something that's maybe a little bit harder. You can try to straighten up your back. You can stick your arms out to help counterbalance. You can just move across and try to be smooth with it. You can get slightly out of position so your quads are firing. You can use that to help you get over to the other side. Might be a little easier. And then you can drop down into that deep Cossack switch position. If none of those feel that good, but you have strong legs, then you can try coming all the way up into a Cossack squat and then coming down. All right, we're just doing 5 in total. You can take your time, do them however you want. Take them nice and gentle, build more strength. At the end of the day, we're working on this kind of half side split stretch on this leg. We're working on some hip mobility in this hip joint, working on ankle mobility. We're working on strengthening the knees. And that makes the Cossack switch a super valuable exercise because a lot of the time we train a lot of bending the knee like this, right? Whether we're squatting or doing the treadmill or walking or running, most of the movement that we're training is this forward movement. And the reality is we do a lot of stuff, whether it's playing sports, trying to go around things, trying to dance, going side to side. And so it's really important to take a couple of seconds once in a while to work on those muscles, helping you go from side to side and getting strong there. Okay, we've definitely had plenty of time to do Cossack switches. I hope you're done. I hope your hips are feeling good. I hope your legs are feeling warm because we're ready to some stretches. Okay. Give me just a second. I'm going to check the chat to see if there's anything I need to address before we keep going. I am looking at some accounts. There we go. Boom. All right. Hey, hi, Sierra. Welcome. Travel with Roxy says hi. A whole bunch of people have followed so far. I cannot figure out the names. Heart Center. I want to know. Lali's mom. Welcome, everybody. Okay. If you're just joining and you have no idea what we do about 40 minutes of live side split stretching every single day. And that's to practice consistency because we know consistency is how you get better at stuff. And hopefully with a lot of consistency, both you coming back, me being here, everybody engaging in the comments, getting to know each other, we build a little bit of community and that makes it a lot more fun for you to go do hard stuff. Hard stuff being side splits and splits on the floor and struggling every single day with your muscles, right? Hopefully we'll make a bunch of progress together and you keep coming back because you like it so much being here. That's basically it. So hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things, get notified so you can coming back. We do this every single day at the same time. There is an update. I am going to another country in about 7 days. So we are going to have a poll up later about what hours work better for you. In general, we're going to be pushing it later by about 5 6 hours, maybe 7 hours, and keep that in mind. In the meantime, we're gonna get back into the exercising. All right, we're gonna do the hamstring stretch. So, I said this earlier, we need a little bit of a cushion for our knee. We're gonna drop onto one knee doing this hamstring stretch, and it's gonna look a little bit like this. So we want a little bit of padding here. It can be a pile of old socks. It could be your pet's bed. It could be a towel rolled up. It could be old laundry. Nobody will judge. Just get something to protect your knees. I used to use an old flip flop that got chewed up and looks kind of gross, and it works. That's all we need. All right, let's get going with the hamstring stretch. All right, let's get going with the hamstring stretch. What we're gonna do is stick this leg directly in front of us. If our hips are pointed this way, we want our legs to go also in that direction. Don't want to go out to the side. That's a no-no. Going straight in front. We're gonna focus on the belly button right here. We're gonna focus on bringing it down as low to the ground as possible. Okay, from the side, it's gonna look a little bit like this. As you fold forward, you're gonna get tighter and tighter here in the hamstrings. It's gonna get uncomfortable. What I want to do before anything else is take a nice big deep breath and release slowly. When you release, I want you to almost deflate like a balloon over that leg and see if you can try to relax a little bit while still feeling that really intense hamstring stretch. Okay? From here, we're going to bring our belly button down. We're going to really focus on bringing it down. We're going to hold that stretch for 30 seconds, and then we're going to move on, switch to the other leg. All right? I'll count us in. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. If you want to make it more challenging, you can stick this arm or both arms up so that your bicep is touching your ear, and that helps you to fold forward. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Whew. Come on out of that stretch and spin around, get onto the other leg. Actually, you don't have to spin around because you can just switch. Notice that maybe it was really hard doing the hamstring stretch, but as soon as you're out of the hamstring stretch, everything is starting to feel okay really, really fast. If that's the case, then you're doing it just right. Okay, let's get into the second hamstring stretch. Same thing, make sure if your hips are pointed directly forward, your leg is also pointed directly forward. Focus on bringing your belly button down. I forgot to switch leg. Belly button down to the leg. Feel the hamstring starting to get tight and uncomfortable. Take a nice big deep breath in, release, and enjoy that stretch. It's part of the suffering that you gotta endure to get flexible body. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Whew. Come out of that. You still have a cushion. You can get rid of it. We don't need it anymore. We got no more stretches that are going to put pressure on our knees quite like that. Let's continue. We're going to move into stretch number 2. On YouTube, Queen R says audio is good now. That's great. That's very, very good. I'm glad I didn't have to do anything else. Let's see. Scrolling down to the chat. Miss Machavista says that felt long. That was good. I'm glad that felt good. Then that would feel bad. Okay. One move in the section is called the butterfly. It looks a little bit like this. We're bringing our feet together and we're trying to bring our knees down to the ground. All right. It's a little bit hard when you are sitting like this to do so. And if you've been on any of the other lives this week, you'll know what I'm about to do. We're going to become best friends with that wall behind us. And I recommend you get to a wall so that you can take advantage of the benefit of just being able to lean against something really durable. Okay. Let's get to that wall and we'll talk about it as we do. I'm against the wall. My hips, my shoulder, my head is pushing against the wall. It's helping to give me a nice straight posture, but it also gives me something to push my back into and helps me to apply force. All right. So let's do this same thing. We're taking our feet, we're bringing it together, we're pulling it in. You might notice, you might not have noticed, but my knees are already much closer to the ground. My hips are already way further open just because the wall is here. And we have something to help us stay a little bit more secured, solid. You get my point. All right. From here, before we apply pressure with our hands like this, I want you to use your muscles because at the end of the day, we want to get flexible, but we also want to get strong in that position so that we can control the muscle that's doing this flexible stuff, right? Because it's only cool when you can like do something with that flexibility. If you can only fall into a side split and then struggle to get out of it, it's a little bit like getting all of the suffering in without getting all of the like benefits, right? Like you're getting half the result. If you just work on strengthening the muscles that control that movement while you get flexible, you spend basically the same amount of time, but you also get power to control all the muscles helping you get in and out of that movement. All right. I hope that makes sense. What we're doing here is we're focusing on these outer thigh muscles and these glutes. We're trying to use them to pull open our groin. That sounds kind of mysterious and crazy. We're pulling open our groin. But what I want you to focus on is bring your knees down into the ground. Okay. And you'll notice that my feet are no longer touching each other like they started. Everything is opening up. We want you to open it up as much as you can with your muscles. And if it sounds like I'm suddenly out of breath and struggling really hard, that's because I am also working those muscles really hard and it takes some effort. Okay. Once you've done that, you've opened up your hips as much as possible. Your knees have gotten a little bit closer to the ground. I want you to take your hands and apply a little bit of pressure. When you start applying this pressure, you start feeling pressure in the back of your head and your shoulders as well. And that is because when you're putting force into your knees, all of a sudden your back is trying to figure out how to apply this pressure. And the wall is basically the secure thing that you're pushing against. I feel like that was a little bit confusing because as I said it, I got confused, but it doesn't matter. If you're feeling pressure in the back of your head and you're pushing your knees further to the ground, everything is right. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Remember to breathe. And also you're still flexing those muscles in the hips and in the glutes and in the outer thighs. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Let your hands go. And if your legs are still feeling really tight and all cramped up here because you are straining these muscles so hard, pulling them down, you might just need a little bit of a push with your hands to help your legs to get back into a working situation. And if you can flap your knees, then we are ready to get into the third stretch. The third stretch is called standing pancake. My hips are tired, so I am going to just crawl over here with my legs like this while I give it a second to recover. I hope you are taking a couple of seconds to breathe and chill while I scroll through the chat real quick just to see if there's anything else to address. Sauda says hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Miss Macharista said another good stretch. Awesome. Judy Trenk just followed. I love it. Okay, let's keep going. Third stretch is the standing pancake. Let's talk about it. It looks a lot like a side split if you're just seeing it from the front. We're opening up our legs as much as possible until it's a little bit uncomfortable in the hips. Once you get there, you don't have to go any further. You can just come back up, get into a slightly more comfortable position. The pancake is a lot of hamstring stretching. And that's because we're going to fold at the hips and we are going to bring our belly button and our chest and our head down, 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 down. The goal is to kind of put it in between our legs. It's freaking hard. So we do the version that has gravity giving the most support throughout the stretch, and that is the standing variation. When your upper body is doing this and it's horizontal, and especially if you stick your arms out or you're holding a weight or something above your head like this, gravity is going to be working real hard and helping you to pull you down into that stretch. Okay? So that's why we do the standing pancake stretch. It is an incredible beginner variation, and it is just an incredible variation for a really long time. And I'll make a point here. If I try to do that same exact stretch from a seated position, right? My legs are still open. I'm trying to fold forward. It's a lot harder to get that same angle that I had when I was standing. All right. So anytime you're working a stretch that kind of has the hamstrings involved, you can always use that as a quick tip to adjust anything that anybody else is trying to teach you. Right. You can always come into standing and try to get gravity to work harder for you. All right, here we are. We're in the stance. Our legs are open. Our hips should not be uncomfortable, but we want to fold forward, and that might make it really uncomfortable in the hamstrings. And we want to bring the belly button down as low as we can go. We want to stick the arms out to make it a little bit more difficult. If it's too difficult, you can't handle the pressure, you can always bring your legs back or your arms back in. You can stick your arms down to release some of the pressure there. That's all the information you need. I hope you're ready to get started. We're going for 30 seconds. We're holding this, and you can adjust as you need to. All right? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Remember, you got to breathe. I know this is a really intense position, so you might be straining really hard. And breathe, breathe. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Oh, put your hands down. Help support yourself. Come on back up into the closest thing to standing that you can get into as you take a little bit of break. And that was 30 seconds of standing pancake. If you did that correctly, there's two main things that you should be feeling. You should be feeling the stretch here in the adductors. These are the inner thigh muscles. Their job is to pull your leg in. All right. So when you do the opposite, when you stretch your leg out that way, they're going to feel stretched. The other thing you might have guessed, because I've brought it up a whole bunch of times already, is the hamstrings. The hamstrings connect basically under your knee to inside your hip, your pelvis. So anytime you bend forward like this, your hamstrings are getting involved. Doesn't matter if your legs are straight, like a standard hamstring stretch, or if your legs are far apart, like it is in for the pancake. Anytime you're folding forward, your hamstrings are going to make you very unhappy. All right? But that's the beauty of it. Now you know the muscle anatomy and how that works. All right, that is the third stretch. Took a nice break, talked about some other stuff. It's time to get into the fourth stretch. The fourth stretch is called the figure four, and it's called the figure four because we bring the ankle across our body. And if I was wearing slightly tighter shorts, you might be able to see the gap, and it looks like the number 4, just to make it a little bit easier to remember. We'll bring that ankle up as high as we can, and we'll bring our chest down towards that leg. So we get into this kind of position. There's another variation. It's called the pigeon, and it looks like this. We're taking that leg, it's still across our body. We're sticking this leg straight back behind us as much as possible, and we're trying to bring our chest and our hips low. That's the pigeon. If you're more into yoga, you might know it already. But if you want to be able to have something to research later, it's called the pigeon. All right. So 2 things about the pigeon
to make it more effective is we want to bring the chest low. But do that at the cost of bringing your hips up. You want to figure out the balancing point where your hips are low and your chest is as low as possible. Okay? If you hang out here in the pigeon, there's one other detail I want to talk about. That is your heel, your ankle. When you're here, you might notice that just me chilling in this position and leaning forward, the angle that my leg is hanging out at has already come closer towards my body. That's because it's way easier to move and requires less flexibility in that angle. I'm straightening out this leg, I'm pushing it away from me, and it's getting harder and harder for me to sit upright. I kind of want to fall over, right? What makes a really good pigeon stretch is also uncomfortable. If you haven't realized that, nothing about stretching is comfortable. What you want to do to make sure that you get the most out of your pigeon stretch is you want to keep your ankle further away from you. It's going to slip. It's going to slowly come towards you as you move, as you adjust. And you don't have to go all the way right now. You don't have to go perpendicular. You can go 45. But just make sure if you're feeling too chill, you're feeling too relaxed at any point, you go and move that foot slightly away from you and get that stretch going. Okay? That is the pigeon stretch. Let's talk about the other option, the figure four. The figure four looks a little bit like this. We're going to get on our backs. We're going to take that leg. We're going to stretch. We're going to bring it across the other knee. We're going to reach our arms through, grab that other knee. And we're going to work really hard to pull that knee in towards our chest. And if you want, you can add a little bit of a baby crunch to bring your chest down to that leg as well. That's it. That's the figure four. It is way more tiring because you have to use your muscles to do the work instead of letting gravity pull you down, but you have a lot more control over the movement. You can make it harder, you can make it easier. It's too intense, you can stop immediately. When you're in the pigeon, you got to fight gravity to come out of it. So you can pick whatever you want to do. I like the figure four, so I'm going to roll back over and get into the figure four. You get into whatever version you want, and we're going to get started in 3 seconds. Cross that leg, over and across the body. And when you're ready, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Remember, you're supposed to be feeling a stretch. It's supposed to be a little bit uncomfortable. So if you're too comfortable, make sure you're suffering more, okay? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. And also, don't forget to breathe. 9. Oh, I fell over. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax. Switch to the other side. Take a couple seconds if you need to roll over and do whatever you need to do for the pigeon. And once you're ready, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. I don't think I covered this. You're supposed to feel a stretch in this outer glute area. And I'm going to try to spin around. I look like a turtle trapped on my back trying to move. We're supposed to feel the stretch in the bent legs, hip out here. And it should get more intense. Oh no, I rolled over again. That might be another con for the figure four that I did not cover. But you've seen it twice already. I just like to roll over because I round my back and I turn into a turtle and I keep on flopping around. I should have been keeping count. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, we got dog visitor. Hi. Please don't lick my face. Please don't lick my face. Okay. We just wrapped up. Oh, she ran away. I scared her. Okay. We just wrapped up our 4 main stretches. That means it's time to get into the side splits. I hope you've gotten a bunch of useful information. I hope I've explained things well enough that you can figure out what it is that we're doing, even if you just popped in and didn't catch earlier stuff. But if you are just popping in, we do 30, 40, 50. At this point, we're going long. It's already 40 minutes of live side splits, stretching every single day to practice consistency, build a little bit of community, hang out, make hard stuff a little bit more fun, have other people to do it with so that you can keep making progress towards your side split goals. If you only care about lower body mobility, don't worry. It takes a freaking long time to get into side splits, so you'll just get more flexible until you get there, right? Okay, let's get into side splits. This is the fifth and final stretch. It's going to be a little bit different than the previous stretches that we did. We're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds because we're here for the side splits, right? Before we do that, let's talk about safety. I recommend you get really close and intimate with this wall, all right? And by close, I literally mean 8 to 12 inches away from the wall, 20 to 30 centimeters away from the wall. And that's because when you're this close, if you lose balance, if you stick your butt back, your butt will just touch the wall and it'll be easier to balance because your butt is one tripod, your 2 legs are the other 2 legs of the tripod. Should have said your butt is 1 leg. Anyways, when you're here, it's totally safe, totally comfortable, totally chill to be in, right? But when we get into deeper side split positions and you're starting to lose balance, if you start falling forward, it's easy enough to catch yourself for the most part. If you start falling backwards, that's when it gets scary. And if you're close to the wall, you can fall, boom, and you'll hit the wall and everything will be good. You'll still be safe, still be relatively unharmed, and you got your little safety net. Okay, let's actually get into side splits right now. We're gonna open up the legs just like how we are doing in the pancake, except this time instead of dialing back the intensity and coming back into a higher position when it gets uncomfortable, I want you to fold forward when it gets uncomfortable. I want you to put your hands down like you're about to do a push-up. All right. We're not actually doing push-ups, but when you do this, it puts some of that weight, your body weight, forward into your arms, and it makes it easier for you to move your legs. What we want to do is externally rotate the legs. What that means is we want this heel to be down, the toes to be up, and the knee to be pointing up, like so. And we want to do it on both sides. When your hands are out in front here, it's easier to move your leg because there's less weight on your legs. All right. From here, we're already basically in an early version of the side split. If this is the deepest that you can go, that's totally fine. It's part of the process. We can stop right here, and you're just going to have to chill and hang out for a little bit while we figure out how to get deeper for everybody else. Okay, let's keep going. If you want to try, you can walk your hands further back towards your hips. The further you bring your hands back, the more of all of this body weight that we pushed over to the side for our arms to support starts hanging out right above our legs. And that extra weight helps to bring us a little bit deeper into the stretch. This is our first one, so you don't have to go that hard. But if you want to, you can try to do a little wiggle from side to side, throw your weight around, see if you can break any friction holding your feet back from slipping out that last little bit. And if you are totally stuck and you're ready to just get this stretch going, start counting 10, fine, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward, crawl with your arms. Crawl, 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 crawl. We hung out in that for a really long time, especially my people who were stuck in that original position that we just got into. I feel like you've been there for a whole minute. Sorry. Take a couple of seconds to breathe. Try to relax your legs and come into standing. All right, next up, we got to relax and counter all of that intense stretching that we were doing at the bottom of that side split position. Okay, our bodies were all tense, and now we need them to relax as much as possible. And the best way to do that, I think, is to just shake everything out until you are floppy and loose. If your muscles are tight, they're going to look like, robots. We're going to be doing weird dances, but we want to flop. We want to wiggle. We want to shake. We want to look like you just caught a fish, except that fish is your leg. All right. Once those legs are moving relaxed, and good. We're gonna do a couple of quick checks to make sure all your joints are working as normal. Then we're gonna go back into round 2 of side splits. Here are the quick checks. We're gonna do some hip circles. And then we're gonna do some high knees. We're gonna pop into some mini squats. Make sure your knees are okay, your ankles are okay. If you want to come up onto your toes a little bit during those mini squats, then your feet are gonna be good too. All right, those are our checks. If your legs are good, you're feeling good, then we are good to continue. Let's get into round 2 of side splits. Same thing, get close to that wall. Make sure if you fall backwards, you stay safe. And let's get into position. Open up those legs nice and wide. You might notice that you're a little bit deeper already than you were expecting. Put those hands down like you're going to do push-ups. Externally rotate those legs. And walk the hands back. Do a little wiggle from side to side. And once you cannot get any deeper, for the moment, it's time to start our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. You can add that little wiggle at any time to see if you can get a little bit more out of the stretch. If your arms have been totally straight this whole time, holding you up, try bending them just a little bit. You might notice suddenly a whole bunch more weight just drops into your legs. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward. Come on out of that stretch. Come back into standing. We're done with round 2. Okay. Yeah, I do the same thing. Gotta shake it out, loosen it up. You might have noticed that maybe you got a little bit deeper the second round. And that is exactly what this loosening is designed to do. If you just kept on holding that really intense stretch at the end of your limit, you might have gotten a tiny little bit more, but you probably wouldn't have gotten that much more for quite a bit of time. But if we take a little bit of time to relax, reset, it helps to get into round 2 with loosened muscles. Okay, I hope your legs are flopping around like you just caught fish, and we're ready to do some checks. Let's go, hip circles. Whew. The fronts of my hips over here on the sides are always super tender after round 2 and especially after round 3. So I like to do a couple of extra hip circles. But when we do the rest of them, just focus on them if they are slightly uncomfortable, maybe feel weird. So we just did our high knees. Now let's do our mini squats. Make sure all those joints are good, knees, ankles, toes. Once you have done both of those, then we are almost ready to go back into side splits. Since we have done 2 rounds already, you're going to need a little bit more rest, more likely than not. So I'm going to take this opportunity to fill some time. Stats Eaton, we go live at 9 p.m. Eastern for the most part, for at least the rest of the week. I need this on TV. Do you have a YouTube? I do have a YouTube. Actually, there is YouTube running right next to this phone right here. That phone is running YouTube. So as Travel with Roxy said, at splits on the side is where that is running. Sorry, I meant 9 p.m. Central European Summertime. And that is 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, Travel with Roxy, for fixing my misspeaking. Judy Trank sent a heart emoji. Thank you. Firefox XOXO followed. Autumn Rain 3583 says, "You can do the splits?" Question mark. Not yet. If you haven't seen, I'm a little bit away from that. I'm close, but not quite. Okay. If you guys are having fun, if you're entertained, if you're enjoying the live exercise, doing it together, participating, having a little bit of a community, having good chat, having good times, I hope you consider hitting follow, hit subscribe, get notified. We do this every day to practice consistency, both for you and for me. It makes it much easier for me to do these every single day to train because I still have to work on my side splits. If there are other people doing it at the same time and we're having a good time, right? Make hard things a little bit easier with community. I hope that sounds interesting and I hope you'll come back and do more. So, follow, subscribe, do all those things. Let's get into round 3 of the side splits, wrap up for today, and then you can go back to the rest of your lives. Okay, same thing. We have this wall behind us. We want to stay close so that if we get into a deep side split position and we suddenly lose balance and we fall backwards, whoosh, the wall will save us and we'll be saved. I just said the word save like 4 times in 2 sentences. All right, let's get back into the actual side split. Open up those legs nice and wide. Take a couple seconds here. See if you feel like you've unlocked range of motion you never known before. If this is your first time on live, if you've been here for a while, then as we do these, as we spend time to loosen up in between each of the stretches, you get to get a little bit deeper. That kind of stops at a certain point, right? Like it's not magic. We can't just keep doing this for 15 rounds and suddenly be in side splits. Probably. But for the first couple, you definitely feel and start enjoying what feels like a lot of progress. And I say this particularly because warming up is a huge part of this whole thing, right? Like we spend 20 something minutes doing all these other exercises, warming up, getting our body prepared so that we can get the most out of our side splits. And a lot of the time, if you watch something really cool on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and you just try to do one for funsies, you're not warmed up, you're not prepared, you're doing it cold, and it might be discouraging to see the result. You're like, oh, wow, I'm not anywhere close to that. But the reality is you might be way closer than you think. You just don't know because you're not totally warmed up and your body isn't prepared. So long story short, take the time, prepare your body, and let's get back into some side splits. Once you are here in this position, put your hands down like we're doing some push-ups. Externally rotate your legs so that your toes are up, your heels are down, your knees are pointing up. Walk the hands back towards your hips and come back into as low a position as you can get. This is our third and final round. Oh, okay. Once you're stuck and you can't get any further, let's do our final 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that stretch. Crawl forward. Pull your legs in. Come out of that stretch position. Kneel if you need to. Breathe. Okay, let's do that relaxation. Do our checks and wrap up for today. Whew. Okay. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. If somehow you weren't on until the last 2 minutes, we shake and we wiggle because we want to loosen up our muscles as much as possible. When we're in that side split position, doesn't matter if it's our hands or our arms or our legs, there's a lot of tension that we're holding because it's a really uncomfortable, painful position that we're hanging out in, right? We're getting stretched. And the looser you get after that stretch, the more you can undo that really horrible feeling of being stretched to begin with. So loosen up, loose, wiggle. Okay, that's good. You're loose. Let's do our checks. Hip circles. Ooh, ooh, my hip just cracked. I'm gonna do that again. Is it gonna crack more? Nope. Okay. Whatever happened fixed itself with the crack. All right, hip circles are done. Let's do some high knees to make sure those hip flexors and hips are good. Let's do some mini squats to make sure our ankles, our knees are doing all right. You can come up onto your toes a little bit if you want. Ooh, got another ankle. Ooh, 2 ankle cracks. Oh, another 3 ankle cracks. 2 on the left leg, 1 on the right leg. And now all the sounds seem to be gone. All right. And once you've done all those things, then we are officially done and wrapping up. Okay. Two Line W says, sorry, I'm getting way too busy to join you, bro. It's all good, man. I know life is tough, gets in the way of doing all the fun stuff that you want to do. It's all right. It happens. Okay. I'm gonna just come in and check the chat a little bit more. Then we will wrap up and say goodbye. If you have any other questions, throw them in the chat. If there's anything I haven't responded to, let me know because I'm scrolling through a lot of stuff and it's easy for me to miss stuff. LWD says, thank you for the stretch. Of course, I appreciate you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for doing the stretches. We do this every day, so keep coming back. We got more. Two Line W says, real. Thanks. Of course. I'm human too. Ashley says, thank you to Travel with Roxy because she answered the questions. Gwendolyn followed the live. Welcome. Welcome to the fam. Lina Augusto has followed. Mel has followed. Thank you everybody for joining in. Claudia, Mia, Reeser Ags. I'm scrolling, trying to find more chat. Oh, we got something on YouTube. Sorry, Mio143. Hello, how can I give weight with doing stretch moves? How can I give weight with doing stretch moves? I'm not sure I understand your question, but I think I know what you're saying. How do you put more weight into a stretch? A lot of the time, it will depend on the type of stretch that you're doing. For example, if we do a hamstring stretch seated, like so, it's kind of, if you have bad hamstring flexibility, it's really hard to lean forward. It's really hard to push yourself forward enough that you actually feel the hamstring stretch, right? So one option to feel more weight in a stretch is to change the stretch itself. If you do a standing hamstring stretch and you go like this, you'll see that it's so much easier for you to get deeper into the stretch because gravity is helping to pull you down and pulling you, that weight, that pressure is coming from gravity pulling you down. So sometimes you can just do that to change the weight of the stretch. Other times it is more about leverage, right? So in that same hamstring stretch example, if you're here and you feel like gravity's not enough, I need a little bit more, you can grab a water bottle or a book. I'm trying to look to see if I can see something. Pretend this pillow is something heavy, right? That extra weight will help to pull you down. And then there's the gravity component again in leverage, where this same weight here might weigh 5 pounds, but the same weight over here might make a huge difference and pull you down way further because it is out in front of you. Okay, so generally putting weight further away from your body can make that weight feel way heavier, and that can contribute to the intensity of a stretch. What else do we have? Let me know if that's the question that you were asking and if that was helpful. And if that wasn't the question that you were asking, then correct my misunderstanding and I'll get you something better. All right, let's see what else we got. Megan Starks sent a rose and some heart me's, and she has joined the fan club. I don't really know what the fan club is, but that's awesome. Thank you for joining the fan club. Ashley followed. Thank you for coming. I don't know if I just scrolled really far back and I'm just seeing old stuff. I think this, oh yeah, yes I did. I scrolled really far back. Tracy says, thanks for the tip. Of course. Oh, thank you for following, Tracy. What time do you start this class? Usually, Marlene, artist, we start at, what time is it now? 50. We start about an hour ago. And if we do the stretch is really fast, it's actually pretty quick to get through all of them. I have a Instagram account that is also called Splits on the Side, and there is a video where I just blaze through without any explanation, and it can be as fast as 20 minutes roughly. But when we add in the sort of conversation, the Q&A, and a lot of explanation. It gets perpetually longer. And at this point, we're at 60 minutes for this live. So now you know what the difference between the two things are. But it's way more fun. If you're struggling with consistency, it's way more fun to come to the live than it is to watch the regular follow along video. But if you're tight on time and you need to get straight to it, the follow along video is probably a good call to get something done, right? Okay, I think that is everything that I need to address. Since I did just bring up Instagram, I have a favor to ask the audience. I think there's like 8 of you left. I have an Instagram account, and at some point, like 3 months ago, you could go live on Instagram, and we had a whole bunch of people from Europe that were awesome and like really part of the early days of the journey. And it was because I was posting things so late in the night that it was like 1 p.m. Eastern time, and basically that's like in the morning of Europe. So I had a whole bunch of European people follow because I was posting so late in the middle of the night. And uh, Instagram at some point in the last couple of months changed the rules. They made it so that if you don't have 1,000 followers, you cannot go live on Instagram anymore. And a lot of that Instagram audience has not transitioned to TikTok or YouTube, where I'm currently going live, because their rules are a little bit less strict. So if you have an Instagram account and you'd like to do me a favor, please go to Instagram, just hit follow there real quick for me. Get me slightly closer to my goal. I think I'm at like 960 or like 959, and I just need 40 more subscribers. So if you can, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate it very much. Travel with Roxy says, will you have a follow along video on YouTube as well in the future? Yes, that is in the works. I have been short form content, this whole entire sort of like content live stream online thing. And I have never made a phone rotated this way video before. So it's in the works. It's coming. It's happening. And hopefully it will be up soon in the next couple of days. Tracy, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Okay. I think I have responded to all the chats, and I'm gonna scroll really far back just to know what people asked, but I'm assuming that you're probably not here if the comment was from half an hour ago. uh, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Sierra says she loves the standing pancake. That's awesome. There's so many stretches that I do here on this call that if I were by myself, just chilling in my room, going, "Oh, I should stretch today," I would never go a tenth as hard as I do when I do them live. So if you need another reason to come back to the live, and then let me tell you that when I have a purpose to help other people, to like keep people motivated alongside my stretching, it's so much easier for me to, really put in the work and the effort and not half-ass the experience, go all in, whole assing it. And if that sounds like something that you're more likely to do, then take advantage and make sure to do that. Ganowski, welcome back. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming back in. I'm sorry that um, you've missed the entire life and we're just chilling at the end, but you made it back. So, if your checklist was to just make it back, you did it. It was perfect. um, I am going to be traveling for a while to a new time zone. So the live is going to shift probably 5 hours into the future. And into the future, I mean 5 hours later than normal. So if we started at 3 p.m. Eastern, it would be closer to 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm not super committed on the time, but that is the general direction. It might be 5, it might be 6, depending on how people on TikTok and YouTube tell me. There will be a poll. I tried to figure out today. It did not go smoothly. So we killed that within the first 2 minutes of the live. We're going to try that again tomorrow. So if you want to have some input, feel free to send a DM or come back and find the poll that will exist in the live, hopefully tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. Cool? All right. I don't think there is anything else to address in the chat. You're always welcome back. I'm here for you. All right. That is it from me. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, for practicing consistency, for doing side splits, for enjoying the good vibes. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye. Same here on YouTube. Goodbye, goodbye.